and welcome to the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show with Buddy Saji. I'm Tommy Chrysant. LSU suffers their first defeat of the season, 27-19 down in the swamp in Gainesville. A lot of mistakes, a lot of issues to talk about, Buddy, but the bottom line is Florida got the job done when they had to get it done, led 14-10 at half, wins the game 27-19. Your thoughts?
Well, very similar game, TK. You pointed this out when we came in here. Auburn was up 14-10 at halftime, and we thought LSU might pull it out 22-21. Look, a couple of weaknesses today that got exposed. LSU just could not block their defensive ends. We know that those guys are monsters, and they gave Joe Burrow a lot of problems. Joe held the ball a little bit too much. Joe also threw a couple interceptions in his first two of the game. LSU just has not had enough pressure on the quarterback. I know that they got held a lot today, but the lack of pass rush. But let's give Florida credit. They made a lot of plays down at the end. And, you know, it's a tough game. You have to go back to the swamp second year in a row. Everybody knows because of the craziness with the hurricane and all, just didn't make the plays down the stretch and didn't get the right breaks. Still a good football team, but certainly I thought that some of their liabilities might have been exposed a little bit. But, boy, Burrow under duress all day long.
Yeah, he really was. A lot of pressure, offensive line. Florida's defensive line got the better of them during the course of this ball game. I mean, Florida's a good team, very good team, a lot better than Ole Miss. We knew that coming in. We talked about it on radio all week. And, you know, they were at home, and they got it done. I mean, it was a physical game. You know, referees let them play. I mean, almost every play, it looked like he could have called something somewhere. And just bottom line is LSU did not get it done, and Florida wins the game, handing LSU their first loss, obviously in the SEC and overall.
Florida just seemed like their running backs were getting too much after initial contact. Look, Jacob Phillips didn't play today, folks. He got lit up late in the Ole Miss game, and so he did not play. And Micah Baskerville is a true freshman. That's a hell of a responsibility to go and have your first start in the swamp.
Well, but you sign up and play at LSU.
No, I know that, but it just Jacob Phillips. That was a big loss on the DB, on the linebacker side. John Battle just giving up too many plays. I don't know what they're going to do about 26. And for the life of me, they've got to find a better punt returner than Jonathan Giles. I know they changed the number and tried to get him.
He requested a change, trying to change his luck.
Right, but he made some real mistakes fielding some punts way too deep, and LSU was behind the eight ball with field position early in the game.
A couple of text messages, buddy, then we'll get to the phone calls. We're going to be here for 90 minutes, radio, TV, Facebook Live. TV will repeat tomorrow morning at 9 and 10:30 a.m. Text message, this is the first of the next three losses for those media that were too high on this team. Reality started setting in today. That's just someone's opinion on the text message line. Here's what you just said, buddy. Offensive line was blown up. Receiving corps did not come through in the clutch. That's another good point. Key drops at the end. Did we leave our offensive game plan in Baton Rouge? Well, at first drive, they didn't leave it in Baton Rouge. They went like a hot knife through butter on that one. What happened to our genius defensive coordinator? That's another text message. And let's see what else we got. All's not lost, but what a shame to lose in that fashion. Yeah, by no means is the season over, by no means, but you know, it was a tough loss because you were in the game, you had a shot at the end, it didn't work out. Florida made some plays when they had to, LSU did not.
Yep, no doubt about it. You got one that you kind of stole at Auburn, and this one you didn't get the breaks, didn't get the calls, didn't make the plays. But look, the tough thing about this, TK, and we'll get to Frank here, is that you got Murderers Row coming up here. Georgia, Mississippi State, Alabama, 3 of the next 4 weeks. You have the open date before Bama.
Well, the good thing is they're all at home.
Yeah, they're all
in Tiger Stadium, starting 2:30 next Saturday against Georgia. Buddy, let's get to some of the phone callers. The phone number, 225-928-4910. Text message line is area code 504-689-9246. We'll try to keep up with you on Facebook as well. Appreciate everybody responding to the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Before we get to the lines, those of you in Baton Rouge, the MMA fight is on at scoreboards tonight at Corsi. Get on over there, the big video wall, TVs everywhere. If you're an MMA fight fan with McGregor, get over to scoreboards. Bulls, snow crabs are available. They'll be open for the NFL tomorrow night. Monday night, Saints, Redskins, boiled snow crabs again. It's a very popular item with the corn, the sausage, the potatoes. You can't go wrong. At Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard, right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, a little bit east of Airline and Coursey. Buddy, let's get to Frank in Baton Rouge. Frank, you're on the postgame show.
Hey, TK and Buddy, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, Frank, and you?
Not worth a damn. I mean, that game sucked. I'm telling you. They didn't make no adjustments. I think the play call and offense and defense was, act like, I don't know, they wasn't thinking.
Well, like TK said, they started, excuse me, they started so well that first drive. That's a great play. You know me, I love throwing it on first down. Hey, I got to give props to Nick Brissett. I was thinking that Clyde Edwards-Helaire would do a better job, and he had the better first half, but Brissett had a great drive there to put LSU ahead 20-14. Let's call it the way it is today, guys and ladies. LSU's defense didn't hold up under their end of the bargain. Now, I know that they only gave up, 21 or 20 because Burrow had a pick six, but lo and behold, they just don't have the physical guys. Frank, they were letting Florida fall forward every time they were running the ball. They'd get hit the line of scrimmage. They'd get 2 or 3. They'd get hit 5 yards down. They'd get 10. And so a lot of fingers to point. Look, they played their tail off, but LSU's just not good enough to have some of their stars like Jacob Phillips on defense out and be able.
Everything you say is true. They even look at the missed tackles. I mean, they'd hit them and they'd bounce right off of. They wasn't wrapping them up.
Nope.
And I'll be honest with you. To me, it could have been just running up the middle crap. That ain't gonna work anymore.
They ran the ball. It's easy to do it when you're sitting on the sofa or whatever, but I thought they ran the ball in a few spots when I didn't think they should have. I mean, that first drive, he threw it on first down. Buddy pointed that out to me in a text message. It kept Florida on their heels. And then when they did run it, they had success. There were other times when they were threatening Florida with the pass, and the run was success with Brissett and Helaire. And we'll get to all the stats a little bit later on. But, no, it's easy to coach from right here, but there was some suspect play calling. But as the old saying goes, if the play works, it's a great call. If it doesn't work, it's a bad call.
But one of the other things that happened,
all night, though.
Frank, one of the other things that happened is that Jonathan Giles made some real bad decisions. And I know the kid knows this. But instead of catching the punt on the 5-yard line, you run up to the 10.
I agree with you.
You run up to the 10 and say fair catch, and you act like you're getting ready to catch it, and then the ball hits on the 5, it goes into the end zone. He had some real faux pas, and they're going to have to clean up. Punt return has been a nightmare this year. He's not fast enough. And, of course, one time John Kirkland got back there. I don't know if a Florida kid hit it or he fumbled it or whatever. So punt return's been a nightmare. John Battle had a rough game, 26. They're missing Eric Monroe. They're missing Jacob Phillips. But, look, it was a game down to the bottom line at the Swamp. Burrow played better than Felipe Franks for the first 3 quarters. But let's give Felipe Franks and Dan Mullen in Florida the credit. Frank, he called better plays and executed. I think at the end.
It came down to
It's like this, buddy. Florida played better, harder, and they wanted it more.
Well, they just they executed at key points. They executed at key points.
And I'm going to hang up and let y'all talk to somebody else.
Drink a cold one, buddy.
All right.
All right, let's see. Could not stop the run at initial contact. LSU had no pass rush to speak of.
No pass rush.
That's another text message. Let's get back to the phone lines, and a couple of you jumping in on Facebook Live. We appreciate that. Here is Bill in Gonzales. Wild Bill, you're on the postgame show.
All right, Tommy and Buddy. Yeah, I saw the shades. Hey, look, I'm watching the Astros while we talk.
A lot of people are.
What's the score, Bill?
It's 3-1 Astros. Bregman, I call him Braggers, guys. I'm sorry, but that's my nickname. Besides New Mexico kid, he hit another homer.
What? Another dinger.
And he scored 2 runs. He walked, and it was him and Altuve on base, and Marvin Gonzalez got a double, bottom of the 6th. That made it 2-1, and he hit the home run in the 7th. It's 3-1 Astros. They bottom of the 8th with nobody, one out. Correa
right,
just struck out.
Hoping you can pull that one in. Bill, tell us about this game. What you thought?
This game, hey, the Shade's looking good, buddy.
Well, I got to have them. It's a tradition that we've been doing, and when LSU loses,
more than I normally do, it's y'all hit on the officiating or the refereeing, and yeah, I agree with you, Tommy. They let them play ball, and it went both ways. I felt like Florida had a lot of late hits. There was one towards the end of the game there when I think it was Jefferson, number 2. He missed the ball because it was a little behind him and high on the sideline.
Yeah, I thought that was a defenseless player, and the guy lowered his shoulder into him. He didn't hit him with the crown. I thought that should have been a 15-yard penalty. Put it this way, I think, Bill, if you called the penalty there, nobody could say, nope, that was a bad call. But they let the flag it was sewed up in their pocket.
Yeah, and I had my druthers with the refs in the first half, and then second half, of course, like in most games, they evened it up. And, yeah, like you said, for LSU, I still love our Tigers, but like the old folks would say, we got exposed today.
Yeah.
And it's like both sides of the ball.
The one thing that I questioned during the game, watching it closely, Bill, is that Florida did not get called one time, to my knowledge, for holding. And I saw them holding the LSU defensive line, and especially from the edge. And look, that was the key to the game.
And I'm going to say this, and LSU fans don't want to hear it, but if you're the Florida guys and you're holding and they're not calling it, you're going to keep holding.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, I'm not going to blame the Florida guys. It's up to the ref.
That's not why they lost,
Hey, guys,
Bill.
the most glaring one to me, I think it was the second quarter, and they did sideline route, and one of the LSU, I don't remember if it was a linebacker or a lineman, was being blocked. He was being pushed to the left of the TV screen, and I couldn't tell what number it was because all I saw was black on the equipment, you know? You saw what used to be like the base of the shoulder pads and everything. They have different equipment today, I know, but it's so you couldn't even read the numbers because his hand was holding the jersey up and bringing him off to the side. So that was the most glaring, but yeah.
That, to me, is where the game was decided, TK and
Right.
Bill. They got pressure from the edge and affected Burrow. LSU, 3 or 4 times. Let's give Felipe Franks a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He's a big, strong man. He got hit. They're hanging on him. He still got rid of the football.
Threw him out of bounds to avoid the sack.
And guys, I got to say this, too, about it. They did the, I call it the Patriots play because I actually saw the Patriots do it with Kevin Falk throwing it to Brady against the Fish back in the last game of the year, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And the old Florida State quarterback option play, whatever, it's like you could tell it even live before you saw it on replay and go, my God, this really happened. There were 4 or 5 Tiger defenders all drifting over with the man who had the ball. Nobody watched the quarterback.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, I haven't played football since junior high, and I was around football in high school as equipment and water boy and had a tackling dummy at many practices at halfway. And I can say this, you always got to have somebody on the quarterback, right? I mean, that was the easiest play in the world, like somebody like Greedy or somebody else come over, just jump, bat the ball down.
Well, somebody he was supposed to have a responsibility. It might have been Battle, but I'm not sure of that. Hey, Bill, we appreciate it. All right, couple of things. Carl the Cat says 5-1 was not a great game. Need a pass rush bad. Here's a good question on Facebook Live. Why didn't they eject Tony, the Florida wide receiver, after throwing the punch? They called it unsportsmanlike conduct, and if you get 2 of those, you're ejected. But I believe the refs have the, they can make judgment and eject if they think it's flagrant enough. But anyway, that's what happened with that. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Steve's in Paradise, Louisiana. We got the text messaging. We got the Facebook Live, the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Once again, the final score from Gainesville. We will have Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com and Ronnie Ranch from Gainesville a little bit later on in the program, but we're back with more of your phone calls, text messages, Facebook Live. We're doing it. Florida did it, 27-19, your final score. Stay with us.
Text Hubby. Can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Talk about Burrow not throwing the ball away quicker out of bounds. Yeah, he's still learning overall. He's getting better, not his best today, but the front line didn't have a good day. I agree with that. Would you agree, buddy? A couple of times he should have got it out of his hand.
Yeah, and look, they won the game from the outside. Let's be honest. They were able to hold and block LSU and get away with it, and LSU was not able to consistently block from the edge. And we saw how many sacks did Florida end up with? Got to be 4 or 5.
I don't have that, but looked great on the first drive. Then the offense checked out. He's been holding. Let's go to Steve in Paradise, Louisiana. Steve, welcome to the post-game show.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Happy Saturday, Steve. They're blaming me for the loss. I didn't barbecue today because we've been doing it every other week, but unfortunately, I think it was more serious. Did LSU get exposed, or did they just get a team today that was, it was all there? They first sellout in 3 years, honoring Tebow in the Ring of Honor and all the other stuff, only the sixth player to do that. All of let's be honest, the crowd was alive, and we've had our phone blowing up saying, I hate Gary Danielson and I can't wait to see him in the parking lot next Saturday.
Well, let me just say this, fellas, because I haven't heard a second of this show, because I would have to get it on smoke signals all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So let me just say this. So really, in reality, anyone out there that was confident that a 5-0 record for LSU, beating 2 top 10 teams at the time, was an indication that you're the number 5 team in the nation, had to wake up to reality, realizing that if you lose a game to Florida like we did today in a hostile environment in the swamp, indicates where your season is going to dead wrong. And let me say this. The momentum of this game changed with the first turnover on the second drive for LSU when you had a chance to go down,
and
if maybe nothing else, get a field goal. And when you're playing on the road for the second year in a row in Florida, and you make a turnover, I knew right then and there that the wind got taken out of my sail. But overall, I'm really not disappointed in where this team is at right now. Because you know what? Look, you lose to Florida on the road, who will, it probably end up with a pretty good record. You're going up against these guys. You lose the football game. They didn't just get punched out. Florida had the momentum. Every time LSU kind of sucker punched somebody and put them back in the corner, they came back out in the next round, and they figured out a way to win. So I'm not all down in the dumps over losing to Florida on the road in Gainesville. You know what? In reality, the next 2 weeks are the true test of your season. You've got Georgia coming. You've got one loss in the SEC, and that's in the East against Florida. You've got an offensive line that hasn't been the same week to week since we started playing football this year, and this was bound to happen.
Well, let me go cliche on you, okay? They still control their own destiny. So,
absolutely, Tommy.
So
you're right about that.
The season is not over. They're 5-1. That's a sporty record. They'll still be ranked 9, 10, somewhere in that area.
And who knows where they're ranked right now?
Yeah, well, that's true, too, because they can still control their own destiny. If they, they're going to have to turn the page on this, correct mistakes, clean up a few things. Offensive line needs some work, and then, get ready for Georgia, because it ain't going to be any easier next week. The big silver lining is the game's in Tiger Stadium.
But here's a great point.
And you know what, buddy, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I will say this. You're darn right, Tommy, because you know what? You get an opportunity to do the same thing to Georgia that Florida did to us today. The Swamp's a hard place to play. I don't know if you've ever been there. That's a hostile environment. It was the first sellout hard that they've had since 2016. They were on fire. And I'm telling you again, that first turnover, when you're down there in a position to score 2 series in a row, was what turned the tide. But you know what? They came fighting back. And for anybody out there who's going to say, oh, you got receivers dropping the football. Well, you know what? When you've got 1:48 left and then 48 seconds left, you know what? Stuff like that happens. We were in that position. They came back. They fought hard. That offensive line has been banged up. They've been switching around. You know what? Florida played their hearts out. And, I hate to tip the hat to those guys, but they came up with a big win at home. And I'm looking forward to seeing what LSU can do against Georgia next week. Because one thing I know about an Ed Orgeron team, and it's this. They're not just going to lay down and give up. And I have a good feeling that they will have a game plan ready to play Georgia. And just when I thought I wasn't going to watch any more football tonight, maybe do something else, I'm fixed to sit down right now and watch Mississippi State and Auburn and see what happens, because it's college football, and that's what I love about it, fellas.
Thank you, Steve. Excellent point that he made there, TK, because when LSU goes down and cuts through butter with the hot knife after the first drive and it's 7-0, and I think what happened is Florida got a little confident once they got that first turnover. And I keep saying it, they won the game from the outside. LSU has got to find a way to put pressure. They can't put pressure with their front 3 down linemen, so you got to blitz. I know. Did you pull up the sacks for me? How many sacks did Florida have versus LSU? It's got to be 5.
They don't put that on.
5 or 6 to 1 on sacks. But Dave Aranda has got to figure out what to do to put a pass rush on Georgia, and Steve made some great calls. But that first turnover, I think, gave Florida a lot of impetus. And let's be honest, Coach Ensminger probably didn't call as good a game after the first drive because of he was worried about the pressure coming from the edge.
Let's go to Tommy in Baton Rouge. Tommy, you're on the postgame show.
Hello?
Hey, Tommy, what's up?
Nothing much.
Come on, babe, talk.
Hi, I'm calling from my buddy's house.
Yeah.
I'm not. And what I have to say about the game is, I think that it's ridiculous that 5 300-pound linemen and a running back are still losing against 4 D linemen, and we need to be able to protect the quarterback, and our D linemen need to be able to do that. They were putting pressure on us the entire game.
That's correct.
Yeah, Tommy, did you get fired up? It sounds like you watched this game pretty closely, huh?
I was watching the game, and I was really fired up, and I think it was a stupid decision to make the pick six. He should have stepped out of bounds. Glad he did. Turned out couldn't help us, and we had 2 short passes back to back. Could have been first downs, and if they ran, and I would have been out of bounds, and I would stop the clock. If Cole Tracy's an amazing kicker, it could have been a better game.
Tommy, who got more excited during the game, your mom or your daddy?
I think it'd be my dad.
He got fired up?
He got fired up, and then he got pretty mad.
Well, look, he'll calm down. We all calm down after these games. But look, how old are you, Tommy?
I'm 12 years old.
What you say?
12 years old.
12
buddy.
years old, Tommy. Yeah, you got a future in this business. Maybe keeping up with it, and maybe one day you'll take my place here in a couple of years.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
and
buddy.
My grandfather's name is Buddy, so we love watching this show, and just thought I might call.
Okay, man, do it again, buddy. Here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
he's
Tommy.
here.
Okay,
All right,
buddy.
thank you very much.
Hey. Imagine that, a smart kid named Tommy.
Shouldn't surprise you there, buddy. Hey, here's a compliment. Steve was a great caller. Steve's been a big fan and a very objective caller for many, many years. We're going to take a break, come back with more phone calls, text messages, Facebook Live. We're doing it here on a Saturday night after Florida beats LSU 27-19. Before we go to break, we just got some messages. Yes, the MMA fight is scheduled to be on at Scoreboards on Coursey Boulevard, and there's no cover charge. Somebody messaged me in, want to know if there was a cover charge for the fight. There is not. You can get on in there, get something to drink, something to eat, get some boiled snow crabs, some boiled shrimp with corn, sausage, and potatoes. They'll have the fight on. Other TVs might have a ball game on or two. I'm sure one TV in there will have the baseball playoffs on, Yankees, Red Sox tonight, as there's 15, 16 TVs in there. But no charge for the MMA fight. That clarifies a couple questions that came in. Scoreboards, Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, a little bit to the east of Airline and Coursey. You'll see the red and black sign looks just like the one that's on your screen at this time. We'll come back with more phone calls, more text messages. Florida 27, LSU 19. That's a final from Gainesville. Still to come, Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com and Ronnie Rance from Gainesville. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and signing company of LSU Athletics from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Once again, Florida wins 27-19. In case you're not sure, Tigers are home next Saturday, a kickoff right after 2:30. CBS game again, Georgia Bulldogs coming to town to take on LSU. Buddy, here's a text message that kind of goes back to the refereeing. Says, you know, at one point, Rashard Lawrence's helmet was off. He was laying face down on the ground. Looked like he had a busted mouth. How is that not a penalty? Well, it is possible to get your mouth busted without there being a penalty. But going back to the officiating, the refereeing, I mean, they let the teams play. I'm sure LSU fans felt like they let Florida do wrong all night, and if we had a Florida fan on it, so they let LSU. That's typically how that goes. The fans think their team got screwed or their team got the short end of the stick. That one play was overturned when the Florida guy's toe was on the line. I thought the toe was on the line based on what I saw, and a good point was made. He got the blue on his cleat. You know, and confused that was a piece of green grass between the shoe and the line. But they ended up getting that one correct. But look, instant replay is a good thing, but by no means is it great or is it perfect, because there's still lots of things that seem to happen with instant replay that just, don't add up.
Well, you know, it's amazing. When you get the benefit of the doubt of the calls against Auburn, everybody's happy and you feel like the officiating was done and the way it should have been. And everybody knows about the pass interference and all the things that helped LSU win that football game. against Auburn. I will say this. I did see Florida and their offensive tackles. I don't think, and I may be wrong here, but I don't think they called holding one time on Florida's offensive line. And I thought that was a travesty. I thought that they held all day. But that's what happens in ball games, folks. Officials and the refereeing didn't determine who won the game today. Florida made the plays down the stretch. We talked about it. Steve made a great point. LSU had all this momentum, 7-0. They're driving down for another score. And once again, they don't pick up one of the blitzing defensive ends and linebackers. And Joe, let's be honest, Joe didn't have a great day today. Now, he started out great, but he held the ball too long. And for the life of me, I thought Coach Insminger was going to go a little quicker with some slants and some other stuff. They did have some good plays that worked, but on the other hand, a lot of people thought that he took his foot off the gas pedal. But I got to look at the defense, TK. I don't know if this defense is as good as we all thought that they were going to be. You can't get pressure from your front three. You're not tackling and stopping people. Florida fell forward all day long, and they'll beat Georgia if this next caller comes in. I'm going to make a prediction who it is. I don't see it yet. But if James from Lafayette is the next caller, LSU's going to beat Georgia.
Here's some numbers for you. Penalties. Florida, 11 for 116.
Wow.
LSU, 8 for 75. That's your penalty numbers. LSU rushed the ball 41 times. They threw 34 passes. Let's get to the phone lines. Tyrone's in Baton Rouge. Tyrone, welcome to the postgame show.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing well, Tyrone. Great to hear from you.
Good to hear from you, TK. And how you doing, buddy?
Tyrone, what an honor to talk to you, my man.
Man, I've been busy lately. I'm sorry I don't get a call.
Hey, buddy, good to talk with you. What's on your plate tonight?
I just want to ask a question. Do you guys think that either Noel Narcisse McMillan, Justin McMillan, could have maybe brought a different flavor to the game?
No. Noel Narcisse got sat down in his junior college game this week, and the backup went and lit it up. And Justin McMillan just got onto the scene, and I think he got into one play a couple weeks ago and threw a 51-yarder. No, Tyrone, it's more than just a quarterback. I think this week the offensive line got exposed. And let's give Florida a lot of credit. They did it to Mississippi State, and Todd Grantham is sending the kitchen sink. Here's my question to you. Why you think those guys, Tyrone, I don't know anybody that thought LSU would be 5-0 had Justin McMillan or Noel Narcisse. Now, if Noel Narcisse had
what
stayed.
I'm saying is sometimes, like when you put in a different quarterback, I'm not saying that either of those guys are better than
They're not.
Joe Burrow. No, that's not my point. My point is that sometimes they can bring a different rhythm to the game.
But Narcisse didn't want to do that, see? They wanted him to be Tim Tebow and run the Wildcat and be the short yardage guy, and he didn't want any of that. He washed his hands of that. So Justin McMillan, of course, is a grad transfer, and he wanted to play, and I think he's getting a cup of coffee at Tulane. But no, I think this is more on the offensive line today than the quarterback. Although Burrow did, they got exposed today. They got exposed for the reality of where their weaknesses are, and let's give Florida and their staff and their players credit. They took advantage of some of those liabilities.
I'll say this in closing. It's getting particularly hard. You can get away with it in the pros if you're like Tom Brady. You got the offensive line he can sit back there and pat the ball for 3 or 4 seconds and still looking down the field. But that's very rarely you can do that in the college game. And usually the teams that are successful have mobile quarterbacks. You got to be able to move. These guys are so fast, and it's played at a different angle than you got to be able to escape some type of pressure. It's hard to just be a pocket passer and win on that level consistently.
Yep, good point. And listen, TK and Tyrone, anything after 2.5 seconds, the quarterback's got to start realizing that he's got to get rid of it. And Joe held it too long on some. Look, I think Steve made a great point. When they got that turnover after LSU was up 7 and driving, that really changed the momentum of the football game, Tyrone.
Yeah, I saw that play. I didn't see it all because I had to work today, but I got to see bits and pieces of it, and I got to see the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Okay, buddy.
But I really would like to sit down and watch the whole thing and see how it goes.
Okay, man. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Here's a message on Facebook. Burrow's got to be able to feel the pressure coming from the backside. I saw that on Twitter a lot during the game. Text message, buddy. Anyone who thinks officiating was the issue doesn't know very much about what they saw. LSU got whipped on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and the receivers can't catch. That's a valid point. I think they got beat on the line of scrimmage.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Both sides.
Yep.
Both sides. And receivers dropped some critical balls. College football, that one play, they had 2 drops in a row. The one with Jefferson, it would have been a tough catch. I get that. But if you're a wide receiver in the SEC at LSU, you make that catch. And the 110 Sullivan dropped, he just took his eye off of it. He was worried about getting out of bounds, worried about getting hit, something. You can't drop that one either because you don't know if that makes all the difference in the world, but it certainly didn't help things at all.
Hey,
you got to catch the football.
We hadn't mentioned it enough, but I do think, and I know Coach O is going to talk about field position, but I think they've got to make a change with Jonathan Giles back at punt return. Now, he had a couple returns back to back.
He caught one at the 5, though.
He caught one at the 5, and they couldn't ever get out of that field position hold. The other thing, let's give Florida credit, and I keep saying it, they were falling forward, and TK, they'd get hit at the line of scrimmage or 2 yards past the line of scrimmage and end up getting 5 or 6. And so
Allaire did that a couple times.
Allaire did that too, but I don't think LSU is physical enough. They don't have enough big, nasty guys that stop the run. And let's call it the way it is on defense. Who played lights out on defense for LSU? Nobody.
Nobody was like,
I don't think anybody stood out.
Delpit had a key pick, but it was thrown right at him, and the quarterback didn't see him on that play. And he did a wise job, take the touchback, get it out of the 20. I don't know that he went much further than that.
No.
But no. And that's the defense. You talk about it didn't have anybody stand out. Here's a text message. The losses on the defense, didn't make adjustment to the RPO, lost the physical battle.
Yep.
I think that hits the nail on the head on the text message line.
There's no doubt. And once again, I've been concerned all year because they've been letting people fall forward once they get hit. We had Jack Hunt on the show. You got to use your legs to stop that progression. Now look, Perron and all those guys were falling forward and running hard.
Let's also re-emphasize, Florida's a pretty damn good football team.
They are.
With a lot of talent. With a lot of guys that are going to get into NFL camp, some who will stick on rosters. LSU's 5-1. They beat 2 top 10 teams. They got beat on the road today in a tough place. They were honoring the 2008 team, and Tebow got his name up on the stadium wall. There was some emotion there, and they got the job done. The old saying, some of you older folks in New Orleans know who I'm talking about, Mr. Football, Ryan Gasper. He used to tell me all the time, years ago, 30 years ago when I first started doing this, he said, TK, he said, you got to remind the fans every now and then, when you pull for one team, you only see a half a game. When you pull for one team, you only see a half a game. And I think it kind of rings true a little bit tonight. Florida's a good football team. I think Florida's going to win a bunch of games going forward on their schedule. I also think LSU is good. They're better than I thought they would be, even with this loss. I didn't think they'd be 5-0. Well, okay, they're 5-1, still controlling their own destiny. Got 3 tough games coming up, but they're all in Tiger Stadium, and you got an open date between the second and the third one. So it's time to, learn from the Florida game, turn the page on it, as Bob Seger would say, and then go forward.
I'm a little disappointed in the defensive performance. I think the text message hit the nail on the head. Look, no disrespect to Breeden Fehoko, Glenn Logan, and Rashard Lawrence, but you're not talking about anybody that's going to make all SEC on those 3. LSU has played nickel a bunch, and we know that Divinity was trying his butt off but kept getting held. Ray Thornton had a couple of good plays. Micah Baskerville had to, in case you missed it, folks, I had a lot of people blowing up my phone all day about Jacob Phillips. He took a late shot against Ole Miss. He didn't practice Monday or Tuesday. He came out and played and was at practice in the golden jersey, non-contact on Wednesday. He couldn't go. They moved Adrian McGee, who had played at right tackle to start the year and then had played some left tackle when Sadiq Charles was out. They moved him to left guard. But look, I think the text had hit the nail on the head. They won the football game at the line of scrimmage, LSU's not as physical as we thought they were going to be on defense. You give Florida credit for that, but trust me, you know how it goes, TK. There will be the next 3 teams. They're all going to look at that film, and I'm not saying they've got the same pass rushers that Florida has, but they're going to be coming from the edge, and LSU's going to have to wrap up better tackling the ball carrier.
Another text message, too many mistakes. Best player, White, needs to play better, and they got to find some way to pressure the passer. We've heard that a couple of times tonight. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Phone calls, text messages. We're about 10 minutes away from Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, followed by Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network. Ronnie's in Gainesville. He is in the locker room. As we do each and every week, we'll get that report. Don't forget to get over to scoreboards tonight and watch the MMA fight and also all the NFL on Sunday. Monday night, the Saints in the Dome, but they're on at scoreboards with boiled crabs, boiled snow crabs, boiled shrimp, corn, sausage, potatoes, full-service bar, everything at scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard next to Anton's Fine Jewelers. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad!
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on your special day at Greystone. Create lasting memories in our newly remodeled reception hall at Greystone Country Club. For reservations and information, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS. For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Quick text message. Steve hit the nail on the head. We only have one loss, season far from over. Home field made a big difference today. LSU made too many mistakes. Fun to watch LSU play again. Let's go to Ron in Baton Rouge. Ron, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, are you ready for me?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I was disappointed in the offensive play calling.
Okay.
How many times did we see him run on first down?
I don't have that breakdown, Ron, but in the first drive, they threw it first down every, I think, 4 out of 5 times. That's pulling that out of my head. That could be incorrect. But no, but then there was a period when it looked like they ran a little too much. That's my opinion.
You know me, Ron. I love throwing it on first down, and I think they got away with TK and Ron from the short passing game and the slants and the bubbles and all that stuff. They did execute a screen that worked well, but I do think they got a little conservative once the game got going. Look, Steve made a great point. When LSU's up 7-0 and driving for another score, you just can't have a turnover. And Ron, they had 3 turnovers. Last year, LSU as a team had 8 turnovers for the whole year. 8. They're already up to 6 now in 5 games, and now their turnover ratio, 6. The turnover ratio now is a +5 for the year when they were, and look, Florida's a +11. Turnover ratio, play calling, and let's throw the defense in there too. They didn't come up with the stops in the second half they needed to, Ron.
Well, it's something else. You know, Florida was blitzing.
Yeah.
When they blitz, they brought 2 or 3 people. When we blitz, we only bring 1, and a lot of the times they miss the guy. I'm disappointed in our defensive coordinator, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they wasn't aggressive enough at times, but look.
They got to affect the passer more.
Florida won the game from the edge, and we've been saying it, Ron. You've got to figure out a way to get a rush. Look, there's 3 players that LSU don't have at their disposal this year. One of them because of injury, Caleb on Chase on a big loss. Ed Ingram, whatever happened there, but that hurts. And, of course, this game, Tyler Taylor, that really hurts with Jacob Phillips being out.
All right, Ron, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron.
Let's get to Chris in Lafayette. Chris, you're on the post-game show.
Chris, listen to your phone. Go ahead, buddy.
Hello, Chris.
All right, well, looks like he is
a couple of text messages. Florida was jumping pass routes because of the pass rush. Let's see. It goes back to the game in 2015. No, okay, that's not a good text message right there. 2015 does not matter for anything for this year. But again, the bottom line, Florida won the game. They had more penalties than LSU. I was a little surprised to see that when I called that out to you, buddy, just a few minutes ago. Joe Burrow, 19 of 34 for $191, no touchdowns. He did have the 2 picks. Nick Brossette, 15 carries for 95 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 13 carries for 55 yards. Burrow, 10 times for 22. And receiving, bunch of guys caught the ball. Let's see, 9 different guys caught the ball, and only a couple of those had 1 catch. So that's a good thing right there.
Burrow started 18 of 24, though, so that tells me he was 1 for 10 at the end. So
he definitely
couldn't
slacked
protect
off.
him, and got to clean that up.
All right, let's go to Dean in Baton Rouge. Dean, you're on the post-game. Dean, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing?
What's up, Dino?
Hey, this game was real simple. We could talk about it all week long. It wasn't the officiating. It wasn't the play calling. It wasn't the coaches. It wasn't the color of the uniforms or the direction of the wind. LSU got whipped in the trenches on both sides of the line of scrimmage, period.
He said that.
You cannot compete if you can't win there, and they didn't today.
No, you're right, Dean. You hit the nail on the head. Other people have said that, but your point is well taken, and I think it's hitting the nail on the head. They got beat on the line of scrimmage in both directions. Probably lucky that they had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter when you look at the whipping they took on the line.
Well, I listened to Orgeron's post-game press conference, and he admitted it. I don't remember the exact quote, but I paraphrase. We tried everything we could. We even tried to chip some of the rushers coming in, but you can't chip all 5.
Well, I
heard him say you couldn't chip all 5. That told me that the LSU head coach knew that the rush was so overwhelming. It was lucky they got out of there the way they did.
Well, Dean, I said on the radio earlier in the week, we all talk about Dave Aranda, but Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator at Florida, is known for being a defensive coordinator, maybe not in the same circles as Aranda, but he's right under it. Dan Mullen and Todd Grantham have beaten LSU 2 years in a row. If you go back to the whipping Mississippi State put on the Tigers last year, but that was last year, a little bit different, but it's the same coaches, and they probably got more, and I know they got more talent at Florida than there is at Mississippi State. One final thing, Dean, what you got?
I'm just concerned about the October slate. I just wonder if they can win a game in October. It could be a very devastating month. Not trying to overreact to the Florida loss, but let's face it, guys. Georgia and Alabama coming up are ruthless.
Right. Mississippi State will be tough, but look, Dean, Florida just had better talent from the outside.
Period. That's it. We could talk about everything from here until the kickoff against Georgia next week. It doesn't matter.
Thank you, Dean.
Line. That's it.
Thank you, Dean. Appreciate it. We'll go to a break, come back. Brian Lazar, TigerBait.com, with his thoughts, observations, and comments. That's up next after this pause. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. We're now joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Doing good, Tommy. How y'all doing?
Good. Brian, tell us, what did Coach O have to say to the media from Gainesville after the game?
Well, look, every coach and every person who watches SEC football knows this is a line of scrimmage league. And Ed Orgeron said that we lost the line of scrimmage. The team that won the line of scrimmage and won the turnover battle won the game. That was pretty much it. He says we couldn't protect. We used every type of protection that we had. Didn't work. And he said when we did protect, we'd have receivers that dropped the ball.
Let me ask you this, Brian. They tried everything. Were they just getting whipped physically? Because it seems like if you were trying everything, you could have countered it a little bit, or maybe, especially on the edge, Florida's guys were just better tonight.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that you saw tonight the difference in what happened, what has happened to LSU's football program in 2016, 17, 18 as compared to LSU in 11 and 12, and it's at the play at the line of scrimmage. LSU ended up with decent running yardage, but that was because Nick Brossette broke off those two long runs on that one drive, whereas Florida rushed for over 200 yards. And now look, they hurt him with, if you want to call it a trick play, they came out with some option, and LSU was making mental mistakes on that. But the run game for Florida was better than the run game for LSU. Pass protection, LSU had 0 sacks, Florida had 5. And Burrow was under pressure all night long. And, LSU doesn't have the dominant player on either side of the line of scrimmage, and that's why they are not a dominant team right now. Now, look, they're good. They hung right in there. And, when I was on with Buddy, yesterday, and I said, look, LSU won a close game at Auburn. Florida's not quite as good as Auburn, but they're still good. I don't know if LSU's good enough to win another close game on the road. And I thought Florida would win, and that's exactly how it panned out.
Back to the line of scrimmage, Brian. What do you think Coach O and Dave Aranda are going to do now moving forward? This is the second game in a row, maybe even a third. They just aren't getting pressure. You can't sell out on the blitz. Obviously, they missed Jacob Phillips a little bit today, and they did wrap up as Florida was falling forward all day long. But what's he going to do to get a pass rush? Because Georgia, watching them, they throw a lot of stuff, bubbles and slants, and get the ball out of their quarterback very quickly, and they also have one that can run it. So what do you think they're going to go back to the drawing board and figure out? They've got to get a better pass rush, and I don't know if they'll face another rush team from the edge like Florida brought today, Brian.
Yeah, you're probably right about that, but, let's look at the guys let's start first with the front. All right, here are LSU's playing 5 defensive linemen, okay? The 3 starters, Rashard Lawrence, Breeden Fehoko, Glenn Logan, and then they're using 2 backups, Neil Farrell and Ed Alexander. Well, none of those guys are pass rushers. They're all run guys. They're all, 295 pound guys are bigger, and I don't think any of them are pass rushers. There's nothing you're going to do. You can't make a trade for a pass rusher. So I don't think you're going to get anything from up front. So you can say, okay, what can you do by getting some pass rush on the outside? Well, you miss Caleb on Chason. There's no doubt he would have been your best pass rusher. The guys that are stepping in and taking his spot, Andre Anthony and Ray Thornton, you're not getting a whole lot from them as pass rushers. I don't think Anthony's quick enough, and I don't think Thornton's big enough. That's why they gave Trevez Moore a shot today, and he played, passing situations in the first half, and he wasn't a factor. Now, look, I think Michael Divinity's doing fine. He had 3 quarterback hurries today. Now, he may not be getting sacks, but he is pressuring the quarterback, and I think Divinity's okay. But look what he would have been. He would have been the second guy if Chason was healthy. Now he's the first guy, and he's really not good enough to be the first guy. So I don't know, what you can do. You can put Delpit. Delpit had 2 quarterback hurries today, so you put him as the nickel, and he can put some pressure on you, but you're not as good in pass coverage when you move Delpit. So I just don't know. Look, you are what you are, and you just have to, hope that guys play a little bit better. And like you said, I don't think you're going to, you hope that, somehow the other team's quarterback isn't going to have quite as good a day. And look, Franks wasn't that good. He was, I think he was like
12 for 27?
12 of 27.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a good day.
Hey, Brian, how far did they drop in your opinion? 11, 10, what?
Oh, in the rankings? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to, I
see
have
what everybody else did.
Think about it and see. I mean, if you're looking, if
Oklahoma got beat.
If Kentucky wins tonight, they may jump ahead of LSU. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's not an issue.
No, not with the schedule coming up.
No, that's not an issue at this point. You LSU, and I'm going back, I just didn't think LSU was good enough. They got this stretch coming up here in October where you have 3 games which they could lose: Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi State. At the start of the year, I thought they would win one of the 3, and I still think they're going to win one of the 3. I think the one was going to be Mississippi State because that's going to be at home. So I think now you see you can tell line of scrimmage LSU's not good enough to be a top. I don't even know if they're good enough to be a top 10 team with what they have at the line of scrimmage right now. And you have to find better pass rushers or guys who can influence the quarterback on the defensive line, and then on the offensive line, you just have to have better offensive linemen. Buddy, I don't think you're playing tonight without your best offensive line. All right, Garrett Brumfield is your best offensive lineman, and you don't have him right now. And I don't think that people would have thought at the start of the year if you had Adrian McGee, Lloyd Cushenberry, and Damian Lewis, that's the middle of your offensive line. I don't think anybody would say, well, that's pretty good. I don't think anybody would say that. And that got caught up with them tonight, this afternoon.
Hey, Brian, tell everybody what's happening at TigerBait.com and why they should subscribe now.
www.tigerbait.com. You get on the site right now. Plenty of discussion going on about the game. There'll be stories up about the game. And then, certainly all the information about LSU during the week. And obviously Mike has everything about recruiting, plenty of videos up there about the LSU recruits.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. I would imagine Tiger Bait message board has been a little spicy the last 4 hours. And remember, folks, when you go to your local supermarket and deli, you guys are blaming it on me. I didn't do the barbecue, TK, but I think the real culprit here is where, as we've been saying, the line of scrimmage. LSU's got to do a little bit better job there.
LSU's opponent next week, Georgia, leads Vanderbilt 7-3 early second quarter. Almost halftime, Kentucky and A&M tied at 7. Early second quarter, Mississippi State 6, Auburn 3. We'll take a break, come back. Ronnie Rance of the Sports Shorts Radio and Sports Shorts TV and the Jumbo Sports Network. Ronnie Rance will join us from Gainesville after this pause on the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
As As we do each and every week here on the post-game show, it's time to visit with Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the LA Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. Florida wins 27-19. Ronnie's in Gainesville. Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
I'd be doing better if the Tigers would have won and they would have covered in the under, but doing as good as can be expected, Donnie.
Ronnie, you were in the locker room after the game. I know you talked to Devin White. Tell us what he had to say as well as some of the other guys.
I'll tell you, Devin White had the best attitude of anybody. It was so fun doing road interviews when they're trying to hurry up and get on the bus to get to the airport, and he lost a heartbreaker, and the last thing they want to do is talk to the media. But Devin, man, he looked like he was ready to go play again. He said he walked in that locker room. He told his defensive guys, "Keep your head up. You don't have anything to be sorry about. We got another one next week." And he said, "I love playing a game like a game like Georgia or Florida where it's going to come down to the last possession. I'd much rather be in the game for 4 quarters and have it come down to the end than be a non-conference game where you're not playing in the fourth quarter."
Hey, Ronnie, is he playing as well? Doesn't seem like he's making as many big plays this year. And obviously Jacob Phillips took a late hit last week against Ole Miss and wasn't able to go. But what would White say about not having his partner at linebacker? And do you see him maybe not making as many standout plays this year?
Yeah, I think they definitely felt Phillips' loss. There's no question about that. They able to key on Devin. And look, last year he had about as good of a year as any linebacker could have. So I don't know how much of it is him not playing well or him just not being able to put up the gaudy numbers he did a year ago. I still think he's a very good linebacker and one of the best in the country, but he definitely hasn't made that big, pick six, that big huge sack in the backfield, something that highlights plays, but they still have 6 more games to go.
Ronnie, I know you talked to center Lloyd Cushenberry. LSU pretty much got whipped on the line of scrimmage in both directions, obviously, this afternoon. What did Cushenberry have to say after the game?
Yeah, he didn't reveal any secret sauce as to what happened. He was definitely hurt. You could tell from a mental standpoint. He's not a happy camper. Last thing he wanted to do was do the interview. I give him credit for doing it, but he just said they made some mistakes. He didn't really want to give Florida so much credit for winning as much, for beating them as much as he felt like they made a lot of mistakes, whether it be penalties or problems, or wrong assignments, things like that. He felt like that's the stuff they could fix for next week.
Ronnie, did you see those guys get tired at the end? You were probably down on the field. Talk about it, what it was like the last 7-8 minutes in crunch time.
Yeah, they get to the lead in the fourth quarter. They don't make the 2-point conversion, which I felt like at the time was definitely going to be a costly thing. I don't know if it's that they got tired because it wasn't super hot. Last year was much hotter. The weather was somewhat mild. The sun was setting. So I didn't, granted, I'm sure those guys were tired, but I didn't feel like it was something crazy. I just give Florida all the credit. I mean, we expected Auburn to kind of do to LSU's offensive line what I think we saw Florida do in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they got pressure on the edges. We couldn't keep them off of the quarterback. And when they knew LSU was throwing the football, they pinned their ears back, and there wasn't anything the Tigers could do.
Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and what's happening with the LA Sports Hall of Fame Foundation.
Well, Sports Shorts Radio, we'll be talking plenty about it next Saturday morning like we always do, 10 to noon on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge on 104.5 ESPN Radio. Sports Shorts TV right here Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. We do the show on Saturday and then replay Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. So check that out tonight after in a little bit. And then we've got Sports also. We've had a great event Wednesday, an evening with Archie Manning and Les Miles over at Oakbourne Country Club in Lafayette. We got another fundraiser like that coming up November 5th, an evening with David Toms and Bob Pettit. That'll be at the Metairie Country Club, and you can get tickets through lasportshall.com.
Ronnie, appreciate it. Safe travels home.
Thank you, Jumbo.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our final break of the night. We'll come back, Buddy, and I'll summarize, analyze, give our thoughts and comments. And quick question on did Chase, Stevens, and McMath play tonight? I saw they played very little.
Chase played very little. I think he's probably got the best hands as a receiver. Very disappointing.
Something tells me he's going to play next week.
Well, probably so. McMath, I saw him a couple times. I don't think he had any targets. Who was the last guy?
Stevens.
Jacoby Stevens, I did not see on the field.
Last break, come back, put a wrap on it. Florida wins 27-19. We're also going to tell you about scoreboards when we return after this pause. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Attention.
Do you have chronic back pain, knee pain, or arthritis? If you have Medicare or private insurance like Aetna, United Healthcare, Humana, or Blue Cross, you may qualify for a safe, drug-free remedy for your everyday back and knee pain. But you must call now. The call and consultation are free, and you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back or knee brace at little or no cost to you. These pain relief braces are ideal for back pain, arthritis, sciatica, leg pain, knee pain, and other painful conditions that make life difficult. Don't suffer needlessly. Our associates will work directly with Medicare or your insurance company for free. Your knee or back brace will be delivered directly to your door. Imagine playing with your grandkids or enjoying tennis or golf again. Call the National Knee and Back Brace Center to qualify for your Medicare or insurance-covered knee or back brace.
Call 800-560-3392, 800-560-3392.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with the final segment of the post-game show. Don't forget, those of you putting this on live, if you got the replay going Sunday, well, part of this will still work. MMA fight tonight at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. a little bit east of Corsian Airline. No cover charge, no door charge, no seat charge. MMA fight happening a little bit later on this evening. Boiled snow crabs are available, corn, sausage, potatoes. Now, they'll have NFL on tomorrow, but the Saints don't play tomorrow, but they'll have NFL on all the TVs. But here you go, Monday night, Saints in the Dome, hosting the Washington Redskins. They will have boiled snow crabs for you with the corn, the sausage, potatoes, put a little boiled shrimp on there. Rest of the menu, family friendly. There's a kids menu available, kids selections on the menu. So check it all out at Scoreboards. The best thing you can do, connect on social media. Connect on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just look for Scoreboards, Sports Grill, Baton Rouge. You'll connect, and then you'll know all the announcements about snow crabs, MMA fights, Saints game coming in the future. Lots of things. In the future, there'll be a steak night. There'll be a contest if you want to be a sportscaster. We're going to have a sportscaster contest. So lots of things coming, and if you connect on social media, you'll be able to keep up with it all. And, of course, always contact us here at the Pelican. It's all under the empire of Burton Allen's Pelican Broadcasting Company with all the different things going on. Some of you have already been there, obviously. You need to check it out. Open 11 a.m. every day. Get you some lunch. Get you a beer in the afternoon. I'm doing radio over there. In fact, next Friday, supposed to be a large crowd in there next Friday when I'm doing the radio, but a lot to happen between now and then at Scoreboards.
106.55. By the way, really clean looking, and as you said earlier in this broadcast, TK, hey, you want to watch a baseball game, you want to watch a special team, how many total TVs? 16, 17?
It's up
Big
there.
screens?
I got to count them, I guess.
Check them out, folks.
20?
It is
Marty
outstanding.
says 20 TVs.
And there'll be a big crowd in there. Big crowd in there tonight. Ray, wrapping up, look, I think everybody, a lot of our callers had a lot of great calls and a lot of great points. SEC is one in the trenches. We thought with Adrian McGee coming back and starting at left tackle, at left guard, and Sadiq Charles coming back at left tackle. Jumbo was telling us Sadiq Charles did some pirouettes. He got tossed around. Let's give a lot of credit to Florida. They've got some great pass rushers. They called the right plays. They put pressure on Joe Burrow. They exposed some of the weaknesses. LSU's still a good football team at 5-1, but it's back to the drawing board. And I was a little disappointed that they got a little conservative on offense, but that's par for the course.
You're right, buddy. Back to the drawing board. There's definitely some things to clean up, some things to work on. Not going to get any easier with the Georgia Bulldogs coming to town. 2:30 kick next Saturday. We'll be on the air roughly 6:15, 6:20. You know how that goes, so do check that out. Thank you for watching TV, listening on the smartphone, on the iTunes, on the TuneIn app, and, of course, all the people on Facebook Live. Nice crowd tonight. We appreciate it very, very much. And don't forget Scoreboards. Connect with them on social media. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We got the Roger Kadar Show again. Sports Update with Kate. So lots of stuff happening, and got to get with us and follow it all. Social media is a great way to keep up. Get all the radio guys, TV guys. Buddy Sanji, super job as always.
Good talking to you. Don't sell those tickets to Georgia fans. They need you next week.
Talk to you again soon.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change, such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
No! miss the feeling.